Yang, 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 yang. Yeah, you already know what it is, man. Coach Jones, back up in the gym today, ready to get this work in. And today, we got some leg work on the menu. That's right, some leg work. We're going to show you guys what we like to do for those hypertrophic gains. Leading into the summer, those leg gains that you want to build a big rest of your body, a big upper body, nice tight core, big strong back. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you guys hit that like button on the way in. Also, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you get all the latest updates on videos when I post them, new goals when I create them. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this work in. I probably need to invest in some pre-workout soon, but no pre-workout, no problem. Double shot of espresso. Go time, baby! Woo! This one's for you. Next one's for me. We out. All right, so today's work is going to start by engaging our hamstrings. We'll engage our quads. We're going to work a little bit of time under tension here. Again, that's kind of going to be our focus going into the summer, and then through the back end of summer is going to be time under tension. That's going to be our biggest intensifier of our workout. So we'll do isolated movements today. So we'll start with single leg seated hamstring curls. Again, we want to try to get as straight at the hips as possible. Try to keep all that tension on the hamstring. And we've got a nice explosive contraction and then controlled on the way back up. And we're going to go for 15 here. So there's number 5. Again, we want to control it on the way up, keeping tension on that muscle. So even when we get to the top, I'm not letting that muscle relax. Here we go, last 5. Big squeeze at the top. Two more. There's 15 on the right. Now we'll go left. All right, we'll go leg over the top, just so that it doesn't get in the way of our range of motion. Left leg, 15 reps here. Big squeeze at the top. And even as I'm working through the stretch, I want to try to keep a contraction on that muscle. That way the muscle's constantly working under tension. Last 7. Two more. And now I'm starting to feel that burn a little bit. So now I know both of my hamstring muscles are getting nice and activated from this movement. Now let's go ahead on over to our leg extensions that we'll use to actually superset our hamstring curls for our first superset of the day. Here we have our superset movement, which will be our leg extensions. Okay, now, again, when we do these, right, in order to get a greater hypertrophic effect and to get a better standing look in our quads, we want to create as straight of a line possible through our hips when we do these leg extensions. I want you guys to think about how your legs will look flexed while you're in a standing position. That's kind of the position that we assume here. So again, if you're looking for that more aesthetic look, you're trying to get greater hypertrophic effect and to have just a bigger overall leg look, then especially in a standing position when you're flexing, if you're in pictures, if you're at the beach and you want those legs to look good, again, we want to get it straight at the hips here. And now when we finish at the top of the movement, it's basically flexed in our standing position. So we're training our muscle to be strong in the standing position. And we're doing 15 here. So same thing with the hamstring curl. Even as we're descending, we're not letting tension off that muscle. We're keeping constant tension on that muscle. As you guys can see, I'm starting to get a real big pump in that right quad. Here we go. Let's go to the left side now. We'll do 15 here as well. Getting a big squeeze at the top. And again, when I'm working towards the bottom, I'm not letting that muscle relax all the way. I'm keeping constant tension on that muscle the entire way through the movement. Here we go, last 5. So those are our leg extensions. We'll work a few more sets of our hamstring curl superset with our leg extensions, and then we'll move on to our next movement for the day. Now, our next movements will be a superset. This superset is going to be a little bit more hamstring focused, and we're going to start with a unilateral movement followed by a bilateral movement. Our unilateral movement is going to be dumbbell single leg RDLs. So we're going to do these ipsilateral style. Ipsilateral means that we're working the same side of the body that the weight's on. Contralateral would be the opposite. So working opposite side of the body that the weight's on. All right, we're going to do unilateral RDLs here. So we're going to start with the right leg, okay? Dumbbell is in our right hand. We want that dumbbell right in front of our thigh here. And we're going to work a shift slide mechanic. So as we shift our hips backward, we're going to slide the weight down our leg, keeping that dumbbell as close as possible throughout the entirety of the movement. So we're going to do 8 reps on our right side, initiating the squeeze with the glute. Keep your core nice and tight for balance. We're going to do 8 on this side. Here we go. That's 8 on the right. Now let's hit this left side. We'll get 8 here. Same thing, dumbbell right in front of us, working straight down the shin, shift slide mechanic. Last 3. So those are our single leg RDLs. Now we'll move on to our barbell hip thrust, which will be a unilateral movement. Okay, so just a quick reference: unilateral, one-sided; bilateral, two-sided. All right, think about splitting your body in half from left to right. Unilateral is one side, either left or right. Bilateral is working both sides. So now that both legs are working at the same time, both glutes are working at the same time, this will make it a bilateral movement, and we'll go for 12 reps here on the barbell hip thrust. Big pause at the top. Again, time under tension is our focus today. Halfway through, big squeeze. And there we have our second superset of the day. Working the hamstrings, working the glutes. We'll work several sets in between these two exercises just to make sure that we get some good work in, get a good pump, and then we'll head on over to our last movements of the day. So our last movements of the day will actually be a cluster set. So we got 3 movements all wrapped into one, starting here with the hack squat. So today we're doing hack squat on the Smith machine. Okay, it just allows, I think it allows us to get a little bit better angle of our back. You know, not everybody fits the proportions that are created for the regular hack squat. I know I don't. I typically can't get the right depth that I need in a hack squat machine. So I do hack squats on a Smith machine here. And all we'll do is we'll set up the same way we would on a regular hack squat. So we'll get our back on the bar here. We'll make sure that our spine is in line underneath the bar. We'll unrack the weight, feet are out in front of us, and we're still squatting hips below knees every rep. So there I have my set of 12 for the hack squat. And we'll go straight into Smith machine calf raises. So we'll get our feet set, get us a descension, big drive. Now, for the last movement in this cluster, we're going to take the box that we were doing our calf raises with. We're going to raise it up to about anywhere between 6 to 10 inches. And now we're going to do heel drops. So we'll set up to the edge of the side of the box. And all we're going to work on is dropping our left heel straight down to the ground. And what we're doing here is, this will help bulletproof our knees. It'll help give your knees, your vastus medialis, your vastus lateralis, that full look that you're truly looking for. One more. Now we'll go to the other side. We'll do 8 on this side. So same thing, dropping that right heel to the ground, keeping my left heel connected to the step. Three more. So there we have our final cluster of the day. We're going to work 3 to 4 sets here, and then we'll get a good stretch in, and that's a wrap. Another beautiful day, another phenomenal lift. Definitely got some great work in today. As you guys see, we got a great pump in. You guys saw it in the thumbnail there. Legs feeling great, feeling pumped up. Like I said, we're gonna work a little bit different method of hypertrophic training. Hypertrophic training that we typically do, the emphasis is to grow more muscle fibers, whereas now the emphasis is to grow the size of each muscle fiber. Now, if you didn't on the way in, which I don't know why you would, make sure that you guys like the video on the way out. Also, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you can get all the latest updates on videos when I drop them and new goals when I release them. Also, if you would like the full-length version of today's workouts, head on over to my Patreon, where you can access all the full-length version of the workouts that I do here on YouTube. Last but not least, make sure that you guys head on over to my Instagram. Hit me with the follow there, @CoachJones_. That is @CoachJones_. Now, until next time, peace.